Hello children, welcome back to the class. We are dealing with the chapter photosynthesis in higher plants. In last session we discussed about light reaction. Okay, we discussed about photophosphorylation also, that is synthesis of ATP by using light energy. So cyclic and then both non-cyclic we discussed. So difference between cyclic and non-cyclic, it will be asked for 5 or else 3 mark children. So if they are going to ask you to write only 3 differences, that will be for 3 marks. If it is for 5 marks, you should write 5 differences. So today I am going to give you totally 6 differences. Okay, now let us write the first difference. First one, in cyclic photophosphorylation photosystem, it is carried out by PS1 independently. Okay, cyclic photophosphorylation, it is carried out by PS1 independently. Okay, whereas here it is carried out by cooperative activity of both PS1 and then PS2. Okay, non-cyclic involvement will be there will be involvement of two systems, there will be cooperation, but here there won't be any dependence capacity. Okay, na? It is carried out by cooperative activity of both PS1 and as well as PS2. This is first one. Second one, it doesn't require any external source of electrons. It doesn't require. Did I explain about water splitting in cyclic? No. So what electron need is not there. It doesn't it or else it does not require any external source of what? Electron. A regular source of electron is required, and that will be fulfilled by water splitting process. Okay, yes, that's good. And then third one, here the same electron is recycled. The same electron is recycled time and again. Here what happens? There is no recycling. Of electron. Once it is extruded, the electron doesn't return back. The electron doesn't return to the reaction center. It won't be come back. Okay, that electrons will be utilized to form what? NADPH. Okay, now that will be finally it is given to whom? It is given to the NADPH plus. Okay, to understand well, I am going to post a animated video that you will come to know very clearly about that. Don't worry. Okay, now fourth one, product. Cyclic product, it produce only ATP. It produce what, children? Only ATP. Here what happens? It produce what, children? ATP and as well as NADPH plus. Okay, now next fifth one, where actually it is going to be happen. Cyclic photophosphorylation occur in stroma thylakoid or else fret membrane also I can call. Okay now, it occurs where in stroma thylakoid or else I can call it as fret membrane. Let me extend the line. Here what happens, it occurs where? Yes, it occurs in grana thylakoid. It occurs in grana thylakoid. Don't get confused. See, this is grana. This is fret membrane. This fret membrane is also called stroma thylakoid. These thylakoids are also called grana thylakoid. And then sixth one, it occurs when normal photosynthesis activity is inhibited. When this kind of cyclic is going to be function when normal is stopped. Okay na, but here normal photosynthesis will occur. It occurs when normal photosynthesis inhibits. Here it occurs under normal condition. Under what? Normal condition of light, aeration and CO2 concentration. Okay, these are the 6 differences of cyclic and the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. I hope you people are very you can take very good use of this differences, children, because for theory point of view it is also important, for MCQ point also, sorry, it is important. Oh, okay now, next let us talk about something, a small concept, that is chemiosmotic hypothesis. This is also important for your exam point of view for 3 marks, children. So this chapter itself is important, as I said in earlier classes only. So each and every bit where I am going to tell you that this is important, please make star mark there, so that while reading you can get that this is important. So you should be read that in very high concentration. See here, chemiosmotic hypothesis, the word, the heading you should know first. Chemi means chemical reaction. Osmotic means osmosis process. Hypothesis means theory. Okay now, what actually this? It is a hypothesis which is put forwarded by a British biochemist whose name is Peter Mitchell. Okay, chemiosmotic hypothesis was put forwarded by whom? Peter Mitchell. Okay, in the year 1961, and then he got Nobel Prize for his work in the year 1978. He got Nobel Prize in the year what? 1978, which states that energy liberated during electron transport performs osmotic work of accumulating protons. Means what? See, already I explained you many of the times what is going to be happen in the thylakoid. Let me draw once again. This drawing is very important, children. This is what thylakoid, isn't it? Thylakoid, and then thylakoid space is called what? Lumen. And there will be presence of systems. That system is called what? PS2. And then here there will be presence of PS1 and once again. Here there will be presence of electron transport system, that is cytochrome B6F, isn't it? And along with this, there is a presence of one more very important thing, that is the ATP synthetase. This is what ATP is, or else ATP synthetase. This is what actually, what did I say when I was explaining the light reaction? The thylakoid membrane will be having 4 members, 1, 2, 3 and then 4. There will be overall, but for your convenience I just drawn like this, and in your NCERT also it is same like this. See, now what happens when electron is exerted, from PS2, and that exerted electron is given to the plastoquinone, and then the plastoquinone is going to be give that electron to the electron transport system, and that electron transport system hand over that electron to the PS1. Then next that electron is lastly carried out by NADPH plus, isn't it? It what actually happens in the non-cyclic. Okay, now during this what happens, there will be formation of what? ATP. I said how come that ATP happens, that one I am going to talk about here. Here what happens, children, while this process, when the process is going on, then what happens, proton accumulation occur in the lumen of thylakoid in chloroplast and intermembrane space or else outer chamber in the mitochondria. Same chemiosmotic hypothesis you will be learning in mitochondria also. Mitochondria, the thing is something different, but in chloroplast what happens? Here what happens, see, let me focus more. When water undergoes photolysis, okay, where on inner side of the thylakoid membrane, I said here what happens, water will be splitted, then 2 electrons plus 2 hydrogen and then oxygen, half of the oxygen will be formed. When 2 water molecule, 4 electrons, 4 hydrogen molecule and then 1 O2 will be released. This O2 is released to the atmosphere. No, don't worry about that. These electrons are going to be filled the excited electron. ಯಾವ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ನ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. What about these hydrogen? These hydrogen accumulate in the lumen. Okay, now hydrogen ions or else proton released during the process accumulate in the what? Lumen. Okay, and some electron carried like cytochrome B6F complex pick up proton from outside the thylakoid and then liberate the same into the thylakoid lumen. Means when these electrons are carried to the plastoquinone and then it is carried through the electron transport system to the PS1, what happens while doing so, from outside there will be hydrogen molecules outside, that is in the stroma, they are going to be picked inside, they are going to be picked. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಈ 4 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ನು, ಆ 2 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ಈಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನಾವು ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ 2 ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಈಗ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೋಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್, isn't it? Now what happens, where the proton gradient is more, here the proton gradient is more, here the proton gradient is less. Proton gradient is less here and then proton gradient is more here. So what happens while doing so, NADP reductase enzyme is located on the outer side of the thylakoid membrane. NADP reductase enzyme is located outer side of the thylakoid membrane. It uses hydrogen of stroma to synthesize NADP plus H plus from the NADP. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ PS1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇದು NADP ರಿಡಕ್ಟೇಸ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಥೈಲಾಕೋಯ್ಡ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾಲ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ನ ಇದೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Next, the above reason produce more proton concentration inside the thylakoid lumen than the outside. ಹೊರಗಡೆಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಯಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಏನು? ದಿ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ರೀಜನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಟು ದಿ ಲೋವರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ through semi-permeable membrane. Here the thylakoid membrane is act like a semi-permeable membrane. Okay na? Now here what happens, proton motive force occurs in the thylakoid membrane. As a result what happens, protons passes out. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಥೈಲಾಕೋಯ್ಡ್ ಲ್ಯೂಮನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಯಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಮೋಟಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ವೆನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಮೋಟಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ will be more, then what happens, these protons try to escape. Okay, from where they are going to escape? They will escape from the ATPase enzyme. While doing so, what happens during this process, what happens, the ATPase located in the membrane, this is F0 of F0 of the ATPase, and then this is F1. Okay now, here what happens, ADP will be adenosine diphosphate will combine with inorganic phosphate to form what? ATP, that is our energy molecule. To form ATP, the proton gradient movement is very very important, children. Okay now, this activates the F1 particle to knock out an oxygen of phosphate and combine it with the ADP to produce ATP. The energy stored in ATP comes from breaking of proton gradient. I am going to explain you, don't worry about that, in detail I am going to explain you everything. See here, when proton gradient is increased, when protons will come from gets out, because from higher concentration to the lower concentration protons should move, there is no any other area to move out. So what happens here, they are going to be moved from ATPase. This is the this is what actually, that is the enzyme which produces ATP. This ATP, adenosine triphosphate means how many phosphates will be there? 3 phosphate. When this bond will break, no, then what happens, there will be release of some energy. That energy only the cell or else the organelle will be utilized for their work. Okay, I hope you people understood. When phosphate is 2, adenosine diphosphate, 3 phosphate, adenosine triphosphate. Tri means 3, di means 2. 2 adenosine diphosphate inorganic phosphate will combine by the process called chemiosmotic hypothesis. This diagram is important. This diagram is very very important, children. Who proposed this theory? Peter Mitchell. In the year 1961 he proposed, and then he got for his work, he got Nobel Prize for his work in the year 1978. This is about chemiosmotic hypothesis. And then in the next class we are going to learn about the Calvin cycle, children. Let me talk about something more than this. After this, see, one question arises, where actually this ATP and then NADPH used? First thing, the product of light reaction is ATP and then NADPH and oxygen. Okay now, oxygen will be diffuses out. ATP and then NADPH are used to synthesize the food, that is in biosynthesis process of the photosynthesis. This phase is independent reaction, takes place both during the day and then night. Which one? The dark reaction. Okay na, the dark reaction occurs where it is occurs in the stroma. About that we are going to discuss in the next class, children. That is, in next section I am going to talk about the dark reaction. See, where actually the ATPs are going to use means the ATPs are going to use in the biosynthetic phase of the photosynthesis. Okay, now we learned about photochemical phase. Photochemical phase means what? The formation of the conversion of light energy to what? Chemical energy. The light, that is photon, is converted now what? ATP. Where? In the thylakoid membrane or else in the thylakoid system. Okay na. Oxygen, where it is evolved? Oxygen is released out. Okay na, it is diffused out. Oxygen will be diffused out. Thank you.